passion, kicking like Dexter. I think magic, love.
Yo, my flow's on destructo disc. Too afraid to cuff a bitch. This boy's on that sucker shit. Bitch, your price enough shit like.
Hello YouTube, it's your boy Forest Green, and I'm back with a debunk video. Now, before I get started, I haven't been feeling well. I had a nasty cold, and I've been trying to get over it for some time. I haven't been uploading anything on this channel because I've been doing a lot of research on some on other projects that I've been working on, and I didn't want to record anything because I was literally to the point where, like, my cold was so bad, I was snotting and slibbering and slobbering all the time. I just couldn't do it. So I wanted to make sure that I recorded when I felt a little more better and I sounded a little bit clearer, even though I sound sick. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and start this debunk video. So of course, I have here a couple screenshots of this person calling me a Street Fighter fanboy because I disagreed on Little Mac beating Balrog, as they pretty much tried to argue with me. They tried to argue an outlier. They used an outlier feat for Little Mac, which I shall go over in just a moment. But ignore the top of what I say. That was like a month ago. That was old research that I used on Balrog. I'm going to make a new video soon on why a lot of the mid-tier Street Fighter characters are not large building and actually are a lot higher than large building. But that is a video for another day. But as I said in the comments, I will expose and I will debunk him. I'll debunk this rubbish. And also, if the same guy actually sees this video, if you actually have a problem with this, I'll leave a link in the description with my Discord, so you can come and debate me if you disagree with this, and I'll record it. So anyway, let's get down to business. So the first thing about Little Mac being country level is a complete outlier. It's not true. He's not a consistently country, nowhere near it, and I'll get onto that. Of course, the reasonings as to why he's not country level with my scans, my findings, and my informations, and I'll pretty much use those to back up my points. But I'm going to quickly say a couple things. So basically, at the end of the game, when Little Mac successfully defeats and defends his championship against all of the other competitors, there's a fight where Little Mac goes up against Donkey Kong, who himself is country level, as he was able to punch the moon out of orbit. Now, keep in mind, folks, the moon that Donkey Kong punches is not the same size as our own moon, as the moon is a lot smaller compared to our real moon, obviously in the Donkey Kong verse. The small moon in Donkey Kong's verse was calculated to be around like the size of a country. I shall leave a link to the calculation below for you folks to check it out. So Little Mac defeats the same Donkey Kong who punches the moon out of orbit, of course, this country level size moon. Little Mac defeats Donkey Kong and the game pretty much ends. So I have an issue with this, of course. Now, that feat is clearly an outlier. Little Mac or any of the other boxers Little Mac goes up against, they do not show any kind of country level feats or any kind of scaling or concrete evidence to suggest that Little Mac is country, except for obviously the iffy outlier, the high end outlier feat of him beating Donkey Kong. So now I'm pretty much gonna be talking about the feats now in Punch Out. So the first scan I have is Don Flamingo, I believe that's his name. He casually launches a bull up in the air with one fist, with one punch. And now I have another scan of Mr. Sandman bodying all of the other the WVBA competitors, except for Little Mac, of course, in the circuit, including Don Flamingo. The scan will be on the screen for you folks to see. Mr. Sandman completely bodies all of these other competitors, no difficulty. Now, Mr. Sandman himself is able to destroy a building over time. Now I'm going to pretty much continue the point here, of course. So based off those feats alone, this would easily put Mr. Sandman around like war level plus. Now you're probably thinking, wait, how is he war level plus? Didn't you just say he destroyed a building? Well, the reason why I'm putting Mr. Sandman around war level plus and not building or even small building is because if you look at the scan carefully, it took him several punches to destroy that building. Like, he's literally punching the shit out of the building. The building hasn't even collapsed. All you see is just damage around it. There's windows, busted windows, and you know, a bit of a brick and concrete getting destroyed from the side of the wall. So in order to be like small building or building level, you need to be able to basically one-shot the building, show that you can destroy the building with, you know, relative ease. Now, you're not building level if it took you so many punches, if it took you several punches to destroy a building. That's not building level, bro. That's like war level plus. That's nowhere near building level because it took you over time to destroy it. It's like, for example, if it took me a day to destroy a town, that doesn't make me town level because it took long. Like, you know, if somebody can completely nuke, like for example, like the Chun-Li feat, where she completely cucks a large forest in one go, not over time, one go, that's town level. But if it took me like a day or a couple hours to do this, that doesn't make me town level. So I hope you folks understand the difference here. So now, another thing I want to say is that Little Mac, during his fights, he does train against these fodder characters. So he trains against all of them, even like the fodder ones like Glass Joe, and Glass Joe's absolute trash. But yeah, Little Mac has trained against all these boxers. All of them should be around like war level to war level plus. Hell, even if we wank and say small building, but they're all like war level plus because they don't demonstrate any other impressive feats. So now I have another scan, one more scan here to also back up my claim for Little Mac not being country level. I have another feat here of this, I think he's Russian, this Russian boxer named Soda. He was pulling a truck with a chain between his teeth. These feats do not support or back up Little Mac being country level. Pulling a truck with a chain with your teeth, yeah, that's cool, but it's not country level. None of these feats suggest or even back up the argument of Little Mac being country level. In fact, it backs up my argument of that being more of an outlier. And of course, I personally feel, in terms of Little Mac, in terms of attack potency, he should be more around war level plus, possibly small building if we really highball. Pretty much, that's where I see Little Mac in terms of attack potency in his own verse in Punch Out. So this pretty much just proves my point now. There's not really anything else to say. The whole Donkey Kong feat is a complete outlier. You know, Little Mac consistently scales to these war level. You know, he's consistently above and scales morely to like Mr. Sandman. In fact, he beats Mr. Sandman. You know, he's like more like war level plus. And I've said before, there's just no consistency. There's no consistency. There's no consistent showings of him being higher, except for that one, you know, random outlier feat of him being country. So yes, folks, that's pretty much the conclusion of the video. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Frisk and Korin for providing me information and supporting me in terms of the video and helping me get some informations and some scans. I appreciate that highly. So thank you all for watching. If you folks enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, comment down below, and let me hear what you folks got to say about this. And of course, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Of course, I'm a versus debater. I plan to make more content in the very near future. when I get the time to. I have some other, some other videos I'm working on. But yes, folks, Little Mac is not country level. And of course, if anyone has a problem with this, hit me up on Discord. I'll debate you. And yeah, pretty much leave it at that. Thanks, folks. See you next time on the next video. Peace.